He had access to my wallet, my bank account, my emails, my WhatsApp, almost every part of my life. But the reverse was not the case, and I called it trust. At that time, I genuinely believed that complete openness was the highest expression of commitment. I thought that if I had nothing to hide, then I shouldn't mind giving unrestricted access to everything. It felt like proof of honesty, proof of loyalty, proof that I trusted him completely. What I didn't stop to ask was whether trust was flowing in both directions. Because trust isn't only about what one person gives, it's also about whether the relationship is built on mutual respect. Looking back now, I realize something important. There is a difference between transparency and surrendering yourself. Transparency says, I have nothing to hide. Surrender says, I no longer have a private space to call my own. At that time, I didn't know the difference. The information I freely shared slowly became another way my space could be entered, questioned, and controlled. I didn't recognize it because I believed that love required complete access. Now I understand that healthy relationships are built on something much stronger than unrestricted access. They are built on mutual trust, mutual respect, mutual accountability. Healthy love doesn't require one person to disappear inside another person's life. It allows two people to build one healthy relationship. One of the greatest lessons healing taught me is that boundaries are not walls, they are not punishment. Boundaries are not secrecy. A boundary is simply a healthy limit that protects your well being, your dignity, and your identity. It says, I can love you without losing myself. I can trust you without surrendering every part of who I am. I can be committed without giving away my right to healthy personal space. I think many of us have unintentionally romanticized unhealthy behavior. We hear people say, he knows all my passwords. She checks everything. We don't keep anything private. Sometimes it's spoken with pride as though unlimited access automatically proves unlimited love. But perhaps the better question is not how much access does someone have. Maybe the better question is what happens because they have it? Does that access build trust or fear? Does it create security or anxiety? Does it help both people flourish? Or does one person slowly become smaller while the other person becomes more powerful? Those are difficult questions, but healing often begins with difficult questions. Today, I believe healthy love and healthy boundaries can exist in the same relationship. In fact, I believe they strengthen one another because boundaries don't prevent intimacy, they protect it. They create the safety that allows trust to grow naturally rather than through fear or control. So, today, I want to leave you with something to reflect on, not only in marriage, but in friendships, family relationships, workplaces. Where have you confused unlimited access with love? Where have you mistaken control for closeness? Where have you believed that saying no means you were being selfish when perhaps it simply meant you were protecting your dignity? I can't change what I didn't understand years ago, but I can share what healing has taught me. If these reflections help someone recognize the difference between love and control a little earlier than I did, then sharing this story has purpose. I'm Comfort Confor, founder of Rise Above All Odds. And this is my story, not because my journey is finished, but because I've come far enough to reach back and encourage someone else. If this conversation has encouraged you, subscribe, share it with someone who may need it, and join me next Friday for another chapter. Begin again. We rise quietly.